All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Salakia. Under Commander General Hana. Okay. Since 1969, the ISUPK is an organization that has been executing the mission to bring God's chosen people back together, letting them know that we need to separate from the ones who have oppressed us and given us a false identity, given us a false culture to live by. And the lifestyle that we have today is the reason why we are destroyed. So since 1969, we've been on a mission, to bring the Lord's chosen people back together, the Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people under Commander General Hana. And the ISUPK is just here to warn our people, in our communities that we need to stop celebrating the victories of our oppressor, man. You understand? Like, the reason why we are celebrating Thanksgiving is because we don't have no culture in our logic or in our world. You understand? We don't think that we have a culture. And that's what the ISUPK is here for. We're here to teach you that you do have a culture. You understand? And that the King James Bible, the 1611 King James Bible, holds your records of your culture. It holds the records of your culture, and that is the records you should be studying and reading whenever you get the chance, almost every day. You understand? Read about your forefathers and what they went through, their trials and their tribulations, you understand, from not serving the Lord, from not serving their God, their true power. Right now, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we feel like we have no power today. Our brothers and our sisters is being put in cages on the border, and we're not allowed back in our homeland. You understand? This is the Latin man's homeland. You understand? And they've been colonized. Their forefathers was colonized, and they were kicked out this land. They were destroyed by the people that has given us Thanksgiving, that has given us Christmas, that has given us the New Year's and all the holidays that's about to come. And so the people that sit there and they say that I'm not religious, or I look at the Bible as religion, I don't follow the Bible. When you gather with your family on these holidays, it's just a holy day. That's what a holiday is. It's just a holy day. So you're Christian by default if you are gathering with your family for Thanksgiving, for Christmas and the New Year's. You understand? You're Christian by default because you are living their lifestyle. You are following their customs. And today in this class, we're going to be talking about stepping away from these heathen customs, because it's the reason why we are destroyed. You understand? On the Wednesday classes, we have, the law class. You understand? So basically, we're going to be going over how the law is what we need to separate from this world, meaning this society. Just by following God's laws is the way that you stay out of the trouble and stay out of the destruction that's about to come to the oppressor, man. You understand? The oppressor thinks that he is above all of these nations, which they are right now. You understand? But they have so much pride that they think they are God. They think that they are God, or they think that they are better than God. That's really what the oppressor believes in his heart. You understand? To teach their people to do wickedly. You understand? And teaching God's chosen people to go astray from his laws so that they could be destroyed and so that the oppressor could stay in power over us is wicked, man. And that's the reason why the Lord is going to bring judgment to this earth. But in order for you to separate yourself from that judgment, to be part of that 1/3 that is saved from that destruction that's going to come upon America, you need to follow the Lord's laws and follow the Lord with truth and in spirit, man, because the Lord is the Most High God. He's a spirit. So you want to follow him in your spirit as well. You understand? So let's bring out some scriptures. First scripture we're going to go to is Psalms chapter 147. Psalms chapter 147, verses 19 and 20. I just want to show my brothers and my sisters how the Lord is operating with a separate set of people. You understand? The Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, he only operates with the Israelites, man. And whenever the Israelites go against his power, go against his will, he uses another nation for the curse that should be put, that should overtake Israel. You understand? But the Lord did not deal with any other nation of people. The Lord didn't give his laws and his judgments to another nation of people. When you look in our history and you see how we've been oppressed in different kingdoms and by different nations of people, they have stripped us from our identity, and they have stripping our culture, stripping our laws, taking them away from us, and they have taken our laws and even turned it into a religion. Because that's what the devil does, man. He lies and he deceives the people that's under him, right? Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. You understand? So it's saying right here, he has showed his word to Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? Jacob's name was turned into Israel. So right here is just saying he shows his word unto Jacob, speaking of the whole body of Israel, the whole body of Israel, the whole 12 tribes. His statutes and his judgments to Israel, right? Verse 20, it says, he have not dealt so. You understand this? He have not dealt so. I mean, that the Lord did not do what he has done for Israel, right? He had not dealt so with any nation. So any other nation, they did not receive the Lord's word. You understand? The Lord didn't set up prophets in these other nations to lead his people, to keep his people guarded. The Lord did not set up kings for these other nations to keep his people in righteousness. You understand? We have our kings and we have our prophets according to the scriptures. You understand? He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. All right. So that right there is saying pretty much what the ISUPK has been teaching since 1969. That the Lord is not dealing with these other nations. You understand? These other nations have customs that are wicked according to the Lord. What they celebrate and what they do, how they think, is an abomination to the Lord. And we have learned the way that they think, and we started to do what they do, because when you're oppressed by a person, you eventually start to want to please that person. You eventually start to want to do what that person does. And that's what that black man has done over history, according to the slavery and everything. We started to do exactly what our oppressor does. We started to speak like them, right? What language did we speak before our captivity? It's a question that, you know, these schools are not asking the students or the black students, right? They skip over the knowledge that needs to be given to the black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. What language did your people speak before you were colonized? And when you read in them history books, you'll learn that Christopher Columbus came over to South America with a Hebrew translator. You understand? Because the indigenous people back then, they spoke Hebrew, man. All right? That's Psalms chapter 147, 19 and 20. Let's get Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Understand that the Lord is saying, seeing thou, means seeing you, has forgotten the law of your God, of your power, I will also forget your children. The Lord is saying, I'll forget your children. We're talking about the generations after you. You understand? Meaning that if you forget my laws, you're going to go through destruction for generations, because the Lord is not looking at your children. The Lord is not dealing with your children, because you know why? Our forefathers did not take heed to the Most High God. You understand? And that is the reason why we are destroyed, for our lack of knowledge. That's why the ISUPK is here, to give our people the knowledge that we need to separate and to stop relying on the ones who have a history of bringing us into our own destruction. Martin Luther King pushing that integration, it destroyed the Black community. We need to separate from the ones who oppressed us, man. You understand? We should not be trusting in our enemy. I'm gonna bring that up. Slovakia. Bring that out real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. For like as iron rust, so is his wickedness. Over time, that iron look clean, you know, look neat, look brand new. But over time, it'll eventually start to rust. You understand? We have trusted our enemies. You understand? We thought that they was coming to give us some brand new life, a brand new way of life. You understand? We have trusted that they brought us into what? They gave us citizenship. Now we thinking that we are just like them. But eventually, over time, they revealed to us, you know, over and over, that we are not them. You see how they are pulling us out these cars and killing us in these traffic stops. They are showing us over and over how we are not them. You understand? Because they will eventually rust. And the Lord is saying, never trust your enemy. So look at what we are doing today. We are relying on their politics. You understand? We are relying on their politics when the laws can govern our communities. The laws should be looked at as a government itself. When you're looking at the laws of the Most High God, you got to picture a government being ran by these laws. And you got to picture men enforcing these laws. And it's hard when you're in your captivity to read the Bible in such way, because the Christian church has you worshiping your oppressor. You understand? What the Most High is trying to get you to understand is you should never trust your enemy. Allow yourself to meditate on that. Whether you're in Trinidad, whether you're in Mexico, you have a common enemy. Whether you're in Canada, no matter where you at in this world, worldwide, you have a common enemy. Whether you are Hispanic, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemalan, etc., you have a common enemy here in Trenton, New Jersey. And this is why we want the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that's located in Trenton, New Jersey, to come to the ISUPK classes. You understand? Come to the ISUPK classes or tune into the ISUPK classes and receive this knowledge, because you are destroyed without it. You understand? I want the Lord to be watching over your families. You understand? I want the Lord to be listening to your prayers. When you come into the ISUPK, you learn how to serve the Lord the right way so that you could receive those blessings from the Most High God. The Lord is not trying to bless sinners, man. The Lord is trying to wake up his people, wake up his nation. He wants his nation to gather together. He wants his nation to stop trusting in their enemy. You understand? Stop trusting in their way of life. They sitting up here telling you when you should gather together. The Lord don't want you to trust their judgment on when you should gather together with your family. You understand? Why are we gathering today? Why are we gathering on a holiday where the holiday was created from the slaughter of your brothers and sisters? It comes from the slaughter of your brothers and sisters, and you're going to gather on that day and do what your oppressors do, celebrate by eating a fat turkey, drinking wine and smoking weed. We need to wake out that sleep, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian. We need to wake up out that sleep and understand that what we are doing, when we follow our oppressor, we hurt one another. And it's a law not to hate your brother. So when you have that spirit of your oppressor, you're going to have the spirit to hate your brother. Why? Because you are going against the law of the Most High. You refuse to follow your power. And our power is the Most High God. You understand? And he wants to be that power and help us overtake our enemies. But we have to not trust our enemies. We have to stay away from their culture, stay away from their customs, stay away from their gods. In these holidays throughout the year, you are worshiping their gods, the Greek gods. The Greek and Roman customs are still being pushed in America today. Why? Because that's their forefathers. They are the descendants of the Greeks and the Romans, and they are oppressing God's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And it's time for us to be more passionate and trying to figure out who we are, and trying to figure out how to separate from this kingdom, trying to figure out how to stay out of them slave chains and them spiritual chains that's on our minds. Let's break these spiritual chains by separating from this society, man. Because you don't have that love of God in you if you love this world. If you love this world, that love of God is not in you, man. I'm going to bring that up. This is 1 John chapter 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love this society, man, if you love the things of this world, the customs that they have, the Christmas and 4th of July's and all the firecrackers popping in the air and the gatherings together, and you're starting to do what what the heathens do in this society, in this world over here in America, the love of the Father is not in you. And that's from the scripture. 1 John chapter 2:15. And you can read it, write it down in your precept notebook. And meditate on that. Just think about that. You know, question what you've been taught your whole life. You got grandparents that have been Christians their whole life because they thought that was the way to go, right? Your parents only know what their parents have taught them. So you only know what your parents have taught you. And you're not going to question it because why? It's generational curses. Right? It was what your father's been doing. It's what your grandfather's been doing. For years, y'all been gathering together on Thanksgiving, right? You're gathering together with family that you don't even like. You're gathering together with family that has done you wrong, trespassed against you. You understand? That has molested you and told you to keep it a secret. And you're gathering together with them on Thanksgiving, sitting across the table from somebody that has done you wrong. You are living with the mental trauma because of whatever that has happened to you, because of your uncle touching on you, because of your auntie touching on you, because of your cousin touching on you, whatever. Now you got to sit across the table on Thanksgiving because the oppressor told you that this is a holiday that you should be celebrating. The spirit of the holiday is to teach you to hate one another at the end of the day. Why? Because it's a holiday that our people is destroyed. That's what it's symbolizing. That's what it's representing. The destruction of our native Indians, our brothers and our sisters, man. And who do you think was banding up together and going against the oppressors back in those times when we was escaping them plantations? Our native Indian brothers. You understand? They put up a huge fight. Don't let they kind of watered down what the native Indians was doing back then. But our brothers were some serious warriors, and they still some serious warriors today. America hates Mexico. America hates the Mexicans, man, and the Puerto Ricans. America can't stand them. We trying to get our brothers to understand that we are that nation that's not desired. Trump is not desiring the Puerto Ricans. Trump does not desire the Mexicans, man. He don't give a damn about you and your people. But here in the ISUPK, we give a damn about the Haitians, man. We give a damn about the Puerto Ricans. We give a damn about Mexico. We give a damn about our brothers and sisters. Why? Because that love of God is in the ISUPK. That love of the Father is in the ISUPK. You understand? And we won't get paid to shut up like the Christian pastors do. We won't lead you astray like them Christian pastors do. Them Christian pastors, they get paid and they get funded to teach a certain type of way. We won't take that check. We won't take that bag of money. We refused it before. Commander Jenny Hunter has refused it before. And we will continue to refuse it, man. That's why we say support this truth. Pay your tithes or donate to the school. Because we ain't taking no money from them. Because they want us to teach a certain way. They want us to teach how. They want us to teach us to be destroyed, man. They want to teach us to be in sin. They don't want us to teach to gather together. Because in their mission, in their goal, they want division. Keep us divided. They don't want us to multiply together. They're pushing for interracial marriages. They're pushing for it all. They're pushing the violence in our communities. They're pushing the drugs into our communities. They have you believing that the cartel is destroying our communities. I'm not saying the cartel don't have its flaws, but they'll paint you a huge picture. When you talk to some of them brothers in Mexico, they'll say, man, that ain't even true. You got to understand that the government is always trying to manipulate the minds of the people. They don't want you to understand the truth of what's going on because you know why? They lose grip of control. They don't know how to handle the truth. And they can't handle this truth. That's why they have to pay to shut us up. That's why they try to pay to keep us quiet. And if they can't keep us quiet with money, they'll try to kill us. But here in ISUPK, this is a military for the Lord, man. You understand? This is an army for the Lord. We are building brothers and sisters to prepare themselves to be a martyr for the Lord, man. You understand? Stand with the Lord, 10 toes. Be strong with the Lord. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Let me get Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. Let's get Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. All right. It says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak to the children of Israel. You understand? And in the ISUPK, we are trying to tell our people that we are a treasure to the Most High God, man. We are trying to tell our people that you are a special people, that you are a special treasure, man. And that you need to keep the Lord's covenant, keep the Lord's laws, man. So that we could be above all of these people. The Lord is saying right here, for all the earth is mine. The Lord can give you this earth, man. For all the earth is mine is what the Lord just said. Keep the laws of the God. Keep the laws of the Most High God, man. We are the Lord's treasure, and we are refusing our riches that the Lord could give us. We're refusing it. We despise, we're cornering our mind, man. We despise the Lord. We despise the Lord. The moment we try to go ahead, the moment we go ahead and go against the Lord and serve these other nations and keep these heathen customs, that's a carnal mind, man. That's contrary to the Most High God. That's a carnal mind that you should not have, and you need to work on. Here in the ISUPK, that's where you learn how to work on. Work on that carnal mind in here in the ISUPK. That is what we're offering to our communities, man. To be able to work on your carnal mindset, so you could teach your sons and your daughters to live life through the Spirit, man, and to separate from that carnal way of living. That's what we are doing in our communities today. We have a carnal way of living, and we have a good zeal to want to serve the Lord, but we just lack the knowledge, man. We don't do it the right way. Here in the ISUPK, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. That word practical means to apply. You understand? This is some knowledge that you can apply to your life. We're going to teach you the way you came in. When you leave them doors, you're not going to do the same thing anymore. You can't say this. The Christian church can't say the same thing. When you go in a Christian church, that a sinner, you still leave a sinner. You still leave a sinner in the Christian church. An intentional sinner at that. I can understand there's people that just don't know. And the Christian church is not ordained by the Most High God to break these scriptures down. They are not ordained by the Most High God to teach you the right way. To teach you the right way of living, man. Brothers and sisters, when they come across the brothers in the ISUPK, it's like their brain gets washed. They bring it. It's like they get baptized, man. They get woken up to something that they have never heard from the Bible, and they always are the ones that say, "I have read the Bible from front to back, back to front." We pull a couple scriptures, and they say, "What does that say?" What does that say? Because in a Christian church, you're taught to add to scriptures. You understand? And you're not really learning those scriptures in a Christian church, man. You're not really learning your customs in the Christian church as a black man. In the Christian church, what you're going to learn is how to serve your oppressor. You're going to learn how to serve Trump the right way. You're going to learn how to serve the Republicans. You're going to learn how to serve the Democrats. You're going to learn how to serve the American government the right way. But you're not going to know how to serve the Lord. You will go astray from the Most High God. They got you thinking that a contract is the marriage, when really sex is marriage. So what does that mean? So that creates whoredom, man. So that creates whoredom. So you out here having sex with men and women, right? But you don't consider yourself married because why? You don't have a government contract. You understand? And that's not ordained by the Most High God. The Lord didn't set that contract up to be righteous. The Lord told his sons and his daughters, when you lay and join with one flesh, you are one. And a man can't have a divorce unless for fornication. So now let's stop fornicating with our Lord, man. Let's stop serving these other gods. Come serve the Lord. Come follow his covenant. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure. That word peculiar is special. It means special, Salaki. You understand? We are a special treasure unto the Salaki, peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine. He didn't say all the people, but he said all of the earth is his. And in this earth, he has a peculiar treasure, a peculiar people. And ye shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. That word holy means to be separate. Translate into the Hebrew word kodash. Kodash means to be separate or set apart. All right? A holy nation. He wants us to be a separate nation. Just like how we read it in 1 John chapter 2 and 15. He said, love not the world. For any man that loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You got to be a separate nation. We could be a separate nation within this kingdom. Just like how they have a Chinatown within Philadelphia. They got an old Chinatown within Philadelphia. You don't see nothing, nobody working in Chinatown that's not Chinese. They will not hire no East Indian over there to work their counters, their storefronts. They are hiring their people. And I don't know why they don't send ICE in their neighborhood. Do they send ICE in these East Indian neighborhoods? They act like East Indians don't migrate together. You understand? Act like East Indians don't migrate together. Are they sending the ICE into the East Indian neighborhoods? Are they sending the ICE into the Ukrainian neighborhoods? What about the Russian neighborhoods? The Russian households? You understand? America's enemies is living over here in America. Are they sending ICE into their neighborhoods? I know it's not being plastered on the news if they are. But what do they want you to see on the news? They want you to see on the news the Mexicans and being deported. They want you to see that on the news. They don't give a damn to show you the Chinese getting deported. They don't give a damn to show you the Chinese being killed in traffic stops. Because I don't think I ever seen a Chinese man being shot down like how we are in traffic stops. It's like they racial profile us, man. They want to pull us over. It's a mission to get us. And this is why we are still in slavery, man. Them cops was, or the real police force back in how it started, they started chasing after slaves. You understand? Who was the slave today in America? We are the slaves today in America, man. We are still the slaves. Why? Because one, we do exactly what they tell us to do. Two, we don't keep our customs, man. We serve their gods. And that is why we are destroyed. They are our curse. The ones who's in power today in the high places is the black man's curse. Because they're keeping you from your power. They're keeping you from your God, your knowledge. Right? Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. And it reads, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and he lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. You understand? So what we're reading right here, it's telling you right here, we're breaking down how the Lord kills. The Lord makes alive. The Lord is in control of who dies and who lives, man. You wonder why we are being destroyed today? Is because our oppressor is the curse to us, man. And we are going against the Most High. You understand? By we keeping these heathen customs, we die on these days, man. The black, Hispanic, and indigenous, man, we die in the hoods, in the ghettos on these days. Look at the spike in the death rate on these holidays. When everybody's off from work and partying and mingling, we get killed on these days. There's shootouts on these days, stabbings, fights. It's basically warfare on these days against each other. I thought it's supposed to be about family gathering. There's families shooting each other on these days. You understand? And the Lord is trying to show you something. The Lord kills and makes alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and make rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. So the Lord is in control of all of this, man. He's in control of who's rich and who's poor. He's in control of who is on the bottom and who is on top, man. These kingdoms today on this earth is set up. You understand? They're allowed to be set up because God's treasure, God's peculiar people refuse to keep his covenant. The moment we keep the Lord's covenant, the moment we repent and turn to the Lord with truth and sincerity, we'll be put above all of these nations. The Lord will set us up to be rich. You understand? The Lord will make us alive, man. Salakia, one sec. Right. The Lord maketh us lie. Verse 8, he raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes. Right? So when you turn to the Lord, you could have had a hard life growing up, man. A hard life growing up. That's what it means by pour out of the dust. You could have been living on the floor at your grandma's house in the hood. It could have been a trap house. You understand? You turn your life to the Lord and keep his covenant. This is what's going to happen. And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. You understand? Reading on. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken into pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. Better stop playing with the Lord, man. The Lord is a power that should not be messed with, man. You understand? The Lord is a power that should not be messed with. People keep thinking that this Bible is soft. Anybody that follows the Bible is soft. Why? Because what the Christian church done represented for, plenty of generations. Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So it's showing you right here that the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. What is war? War is terrible. The Lord is a terrible power to go against. You do not want to be on the opposite or contrary end towards the Lord. You will not win. He is in control of who lives and who dies. He is in control of who is rich, who is poor, who is low, who is high, man. You understand? Why would you go against that power? And black man, that is your power. Your power is the Most High God. Have the Most High God on your side. We need our people to believe in the Most High God, man. Come and change your life in the ISUPK. Come through the doors of the ISUPK and learn the true knowledge of this Bible. Learn the real character of the Lord. You understand? Learn who the Most High God is. Learn who Christ was. Learn who Christ is, a heavy one. Learn who Christ was is real heavy. Let me get John chapter 12. Learn about Christ is heavy. Let's go on that New Testament real quick. John chapter 12, verse, where we at? John chapter 12, verse 44. We need to learn about who Christ really was and what Christ was teaching. That Christian church teaches you that Christ is equal to the Father. That Christian church is telling you that Christ has the same power that the Most High Father has. We're going to see what Christ says. It's John chapter 12, verse 44. Jesus cried and said, "He that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me, see him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believe on me should not abide in darkness." So what is Christ saying right here? Christ is saying, he that believe what I say, believe me, you're not believing on me, you're believing on him that sent me. When you follow Christ and you follow what the walk of Christ, Christ wasn't celebrating Thanksgiving. Christ wasn't keeping the customs of the oppressors at that time. Christ wasn't having birthdays. Christ wasn't celebrating Christmas. Christ wasn't celebrating no other custom but the customs of Israel, man. You understand? So it says that he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. You know, Christ is a black man. You can read about it in Revelation chapter 1, verses 13 through 15. So when Christ is saying, he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me, that means that the spirit of the Most High God is a black man's spirit, man. The spirit of the Most High God is a black man's spirit. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me shall not abide in darkness. You following Christ, you will not abide in the darkness that's going on right now in this world. You understand? The darkness of celebrating Thanksgiving, the darkness of celebrating Christmas. You're not going to abide in the darkness when you come to serve the Lord the right way, when you come to follow the light. Coming to follow the light, that means you coming to follow the Lord the right way, man. You're not going to abide in that darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I am come to judge the world. For I came not to judge the world, Salakia, but to save the world. Christ is here to just save the world. That world is Israel, man. That world is Israel. Because Christ came to save the sins, save his people from their sins. Christ wanted us to stop being destroyed from our enemies, man. So he came to teach us the right way, giving us the real spirit to carry, putting these laws in our hearts, man. Speaking to us and healing us. That's what Christ was doing. And that's what we're doing here in the ISUPK. We speaking to our people, trying to heal them. Speaking to our people, letting them know and warning them to separate from this world, this society. Separate from the ones who's destroying your people. Separate from them. And a lot of real soldiers, man, they leave that Christian church, and I understand, but going to the streets is not the way. Going to the streets and living their way of life is more of a curse on you. Why? Because you're still gonna be celebrating the holidays. You still gonna be a Christian by default. Now you just jumping in to a realm of going to war with your people. You are jumping in that realm that helps stir the pot. You understand? We need everybody to realize, no matter if you Blood, Crip, or any other gang, man. If you are Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, You are God's treasure, peculiar treasure. And it's time to step away from these heathen customs. We were taught to kill one another because that is what they do. You understand? We keep on fighting and helping them and supporting them in their wars. In their wars. I guarantee you, if we start to gather together, they're going to want to go to war against us. They hate to see Black, Hispanic, Indigenous people gather together. They don't want to see it. They have to cause division. They have to cause some type of divide between us because they know that that is God's treasure, man. God's treasure can't all come together. Because the Lord is going to start to come for his people. And look at the signs today. This word will be fulfilled, man. The prophecies in this Bible will be fulfilled. They are coming to pass. And you want to make sure that, one, you're following the Lord the right way. And part of that is to be taught, the truth about who Christ was. That's why it's a major deal to let you understand that Christ was a Black man. They don't want you to understand that. They overlook that. They try to say it's not all about color. Well, if it's not all about color, right? If it's not all about color, then reveal his true color. Reveal his true color. It's very powerful for a young Black kid to understand that Christ is Black. A Black man walked on water. A Black man touched and healed people. A Black man, the most revolutionary man that ever walked this earth. It's very powerful for a young Black man to hear that. Why? Because it gives him something to look up to. Now he has something to look up to. Christ was a brother he should look up to. That's the light he should be looking up to. That's the light that he should want to have, the light that he should want to be like. And you take that away from our people when you say that Christ was a white man. You take that endurance, that motivation away from our people when you say that Christ is a white man. You want to destroy the men in our communities. A good way to do it is by masquerading Christ to be a white man. Because you want the men to be worshiping you, oppressor. And the devil lies, man. And that's why we say that they are the devil. They have lied and deceived our people, man. Even their people. Their people don't even know the truth. They are solely convinced that the brothers in ISUPK is crazy. Call it what you want. I'll be crazy to tell the truth. Call it what you want. In Amos chapter 5. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. This is what the Lord is saying right here. For them Christians that say that the Lord does not hate, and for them Christians that say we're teaching hate, the Lord just said, I hate, I despise your feast days. The Lord hates. He despises your feast days. He hates Thanksgiving. He doesn't want to smell in your solemn assemblies. Verse 22, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings. Understand how this is worded right here. It says, though, meaning So them Christians that be thinking and praying over that food, praying to God before they eat that fat turkey, it says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. The Lord is not accepting that food. They praying, you got your grandma having everybody hold hands around this table, this huge table. All the family there, you got your turkey, your stuffed turkey, you got your cranberry, whatever, all of that stuff, that Thanksgiving dinner. The Lord is saying, when you pray to him and trying to tell the Lord to bless this food, you know, grandma making that long prayer. You understand? Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast, that fat turkey that you have in the center of the table. The Lord is saying, I will not regard that fat beast. You understand? I don't give a damn about the prayer that you got going on. I don't give a damn about this dinner that you're having. I hate Thanksgiving, is what the Lord is saying. I hate your feast. I don't want to smell and all that cooking and all them seasons that you done put together. I hate that smell of it. You understand? Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. The Lord don't even want to hear all that Christian music that you playing at Thanksgiving dinner. You understand? The Lord he's telling you, I am not with you at that Thanksgiving dinner. I am not in the presence of you at that Thanksgiving dinner, at that holiday. That is a heathen custom. The Lord is not with you during that heathen custom. He don't even want to hear all the songs that you are writing to, that gospel music you playing. The Lord don't give a damn about that. He said, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. You know, like the Lord getting irritated with that. You understand? For I will not hear the melody of the viols. Verse 24. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. The Lord is saying, let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Let me get another scripture real quick. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 10. All right. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh to you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. You understand? So the Lord is telling you right here, man. He's speaking to the house of Israel as well. Telling us, learn not the way of the heathen. And that's why I titled this class, Step Away from the Heathen, from Heathen Customs. Because the Lord ordered us to learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn the way of these other nations. Step away from these other nations, because the customs of these other nations are vain, pointless, they're worthless. There's no substance in them. We need to step away from the celebration of the killing of our brothers and sisters. We need to step away from that. You understand? For the customs of the people are vain. I'm gonna end it off with that. So that being said, Israel, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know, start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Yohana. You know what I mean? Pay your tithes. Go to www.isupk.com. Make sure you pay your tithes or you donate to the school. Contact the Trenton School. Contact the Trenton School if you need counsel. You understand? If you want us to come to a meeting, anything, contact the ISUPK. We are here reaching out to the Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people in the community of Trenton, New Jersey. Reach out to this school if you feel it's profitable for your community, man. Reach out to the school if you want to be a part of the movement, you know, of waking up our people and giving them back their identity to separate from, you know, the society. You understand? And with that being said, I'm Officer 50 Kalatazar. Shalom, Israel.